Carlos and Vanessa have now been bested. And that means we can now move on to our third street racer on the map, which is Bishop. And Phil will probably be coming afterwards, so we should probably take down Bishop first. Challenge Bishop for the right to race against the Luxury Rollers Car Club. He drives a Lexus GS 430. Don't need to read the extra sentence that says race 1 of 3 because, well, really, I don't feel like there's any more to it. There is also a separate road that we do need to get onto here in order to catch up to Bishop. So we need to take the highway that leads up to the main road that Bishop is on. And I got double crossed by the highway. Although no matter, because I will find a way to make it there. I just need to make sure it's off the highway first and foremost. Although it would be nice if I could somehow stop wrecking myself. Oh, I'm going the wrong way. Fills up that way. Yep, I knew exactly where I was going 100%. I still don't know where I'm going. I had absolutely no idea where I was going for a moment there, to be thoroughly honest.
I heard about that guy Bishop and his Lexus thing. You better be careful out there, Holmes.
Well, I certainly know that after Coastal Chaos, this is where I get the feeling the game is really going to try and skin us. As the cars get faster and also the routes in some cases continue to diversify in terms of their conditions. And I mean in terms of the weather conditions and also everything else in between. And this time, no tutorials to get us through Bishop. We begin with Trolley Race 2. So we've got a Cadillac CTS with 2 Lexus GS 430s, and looks like we've got a full field here of 7 opponents. I think most of them are probably driving Lexus GSs, although I have noticed there's also a pair of Cadillacs. So, hard to tell for sure who's going to have the advantage here. I mean, I have the advantage on acceleration, and technically handling as well, because my car is lighter. But I also know that those luxury rollers technically have the advantage when it comes to overall speed. And couldn't quite get Ying in the end. At least I beat Bishop, so I can take that with some pride. Still earning little bits of money, which at least makes my path to getting the other Stage 1 upgrades a little easier. So, we will try again with Trolley Race 2. And also make sure that this time we do not undershoot the path we take to try and win this, which I think is what happened before. My disadvantage regarding top speed, that pretty much bastard me. But I at least know what to do now, and hopefully the mistakes will be reconciled, potentially. So it turns out heading through the stadium is slightly faster than taking the short chute where the tram tracks are. Even though I will say that I still have the disadvantage regarding top speed. My acceleration at least hasn't dropped off, but with regards to top speed, that could be an issue. Especially considering my car at this point is still stock, and I am trying more or less to keep it that way until we have beaten Bishop, because I don't want to go through the same trial and error that I did before with Phil before, when I got completely fucked on pace. Oh, I just beat him that time. I just managed to beat Ying at the line in a photo finish. Jesus Christ. That was a literal photo finish, and I got him with the SST right at the end. Holy shit. I'm also pretty sure there were 7 of us, were there not? I'll wait and see where the other one is. Oh, here he comes. Okay. So I win in a photo finish, second time around against Ying, then Casey was 3rd, followed by Ivana 4th, Bishop 5th, Kieran 6th, and Bricks was a long way behind us.
Man, I hope I taught you well.
You know what, Oscar? I think you probably did teach me well. So now let's get our replay. And maybe see if we can manage to get a shot of that photo finish. Which I somehow managed to come out on top of. Somehow, some way. Certainly weren't easy, but I can at least say the end result was worth it. I think if I remember, I need at least 10 grand if I'm actually going to fit all of the Stage 1 upgrades. And I should also mention that if you're going up against Phil with a stock starter car, depending on whichever one it is, he is an absolute bitch to beat with a stock car. So I would advise you to put your upgrades on once you know you've got enough money. And I think that's kind of what I am aiming to do. Just to make sure that I do get the money and then to pretty much galvanise the performance of my car. And I think I noticed 2 drivers there who were honking horns. But regardless, I did manage to flip the script on Ying, who beat me before. And it was that one perfectly timed slipstream turbo that helped me emerge victorious. Even though it is a shame to say it wasn't quite wide enough to get the photo finish shot. Oh well, I'll just have to use another shot instead, if that one doesn't work. Anyway, now we're on to Midway Madness, which is Race 2. So now we've got some... Okay, so we've got 2 Chryslers in the mix now, along with the ship. This time it's just a field of 4 cars against, as opposed to the 7-car field we were up against in race 1. This one has now reduced us to a quartet. I do manage to time my downshift to perfection. These buildings can be pretty hard to get through at speed without crashing, but I know which route to take, and I also know how to at least avoid the accidents when I know someone is on the wrong side of me. As that Chrysler slots in front of me for a second there. I also know there are no shortcuts to take on this part of the route, so I've got to kind of carefully and intricately pick my lines and hope that they work. As we now take the jump on board the battleship, and I'm getting almost. And trying to use the slingshot as I make sure to successfully hit the brakes at the right time. Pretty much a dab of the brakes if you want to know what I did. And now I've lost. And Bishop is now ahead of me. So I don't think I'm going to beat him. I think I'm at least going to be second. Or second at best. Oh, Kirby was ahead of us. Yeah, never mind. We just have to try again. Still earning little bits of money. So we've actually got 4 different cars in this race. And overall, we are pretty much a quartet. There is 1 Dodge with 1 Chrysler, 1 Cadillac, and 1 Lexus with Bishop. And yep, my underpowered Dodge definitely seems to be paying a hefty price, and I could not get close enough for the slipstream turbo that time. But at least I can say we're not taking the beach route this time. And I'm not risking it with that route, because otherwise I may end up in the drink. So I go ahead this way instead, and I get body slammed on both sides. Of course I do. Starting to wonder if it was such a good idea to not put upgrades on this thing. That I am wondering at the moment. Could have put some on if I wanted to, but to be honest, it's easier when you know you've got enough to buy pretty much much all the upgrades. Probably didn't need to downshift when I got on the boat, but nonetheless I did so anyway so I wouldn't bog down. Okay. Yeah, there's going to be a wreck there. It'd probably also help if I am in the flowing lane of the traffic and not the oncoming lane. Or I could just be down here, that also works. Although I'm not sure if taking the ship this time around is really going to help me, so I'll go this way instead. Because it might be faster, and sure enough, I do end up beating Bishop by less than a second on attempt 2 of Midway Madness, with Curly 3rd and Monica 4th.
Alright, S.A., don't be getting no big head now.
At least I can say the tidbits of money that we're getting do seem to be helping us with our grind. I did already get the replay. So now we're on to our third and final race with Bishop, as it is titled Renegade. So hopefully we can manage to give ourselves a cavalcade with the Renegade. Probably best if I don't waste any time once I get the slipstream turbo. And also, if I am going to win this at the end, I need to stay the fuck out of the traffic. As in, I need to do everything in my power to make sure that I keep my ass out of the dickhead traffic. Because that's honestly what I think the traffic is when I run into it. I think all the traffic is dickheads. And I can also definitely say that the AI in a way are also dickheads. Because of how, aside from them trying to pass me, they also want to try and basically wreck me and assassinate me and kill me in every way possible. In other words, they basically want to slaughter me and maul me. Pretty much like a pack of attack dogs. And they want to make sure that my ass is dead. I would probably advise you to maybe do some of the optional city races, so then you can actually earn more money to maybe sharpen your skills, if you have any. Because what this race has proven to me right now is that my skills are not very useful. At least not at the present time, because the ubiquitous traffic just seems to keep trying to ruin me in just about every way. But this time at least, I prevent it from happening at the end. 2 seconds over Bishop, Ivana third, and Pearl fourth. Yeah, we beat Bishop. And we've now surpassed 10 grand in earnings. At least in our bank. And we've now unlocked the club races for the Luxury Rollers Car Club. Luxury Rollers Car Club challenges you. And I'm pretty sure I did get a replay from this because I caught the first race. So why don't we just get on with our next cutscene?
You, ese? Listen, I know you like to hang out with the kids, but some vatos like to keep things exclusive. I just had the Luxury Rollers in here telling me they was looking for new members. I thought about you. Might be out of your league, I don't know. Expensive stuff, but it looks good. And like all cars, there's a way to drive them. The weight to these cars can give you an advantage if you learn how to use it. If you're interested, I can hook you up.
I might just be interested, Oscar. Given enough time.
Hey, listen up. I know you think you're the bomb, so now you can prove it. Because you got word of a tournament going on.
Okay, so we've now unlocked our third tournament here in San Diego, as we've now got the Balboa Park tournament available. And I think next time we're going to be challenging Phil, just so we get the fucking street racers out the way. And I just want to head back to the garage and see if whether or not I can afford all the Stage 1 upgrades. Because I know that's going to be important for when we do the club races and technically tournaments as well. So have we got them all? We just have enough to buy all of the level 1 upgrades. So you know what? I'm not wasting time. I'm just gonna fit them. I might be down to only $50 in the end, or $60. But it's enough for me to fit most of them anyway. So you know what? We're just gonna do it. I might be down to just $60, but I've pretty much got everything fitted except for the engine. So now, what we're going to do is we're going to head back to the main menu to look at our updated stats. So this is where we are now after defeating 3 street racers with a bit of trial and error involved in between. So we've now beaten 3 racers, and we've got 10 total wins, along with 1 second place and 3 thirds. As we are now 5% complete, and the total cash we've earned is now under 10 grand. So that will do it for this episode of Midnight Club 3 Dub Edition. And next time in episode 4, we will be racing Phil.